Hey everybody, how's it going? Just hanging out in the power saw shop. Let's get going on this Echo CS590. This is the one we're doing for Caleb and Taylor in good old Houston, Texas. Maybe I could trade them for some barbecue. I bet you they got good barbecue down there. I like me some barbecue. What are we doing on this thing today? Well, we're going to tear this thing right down, and we got to get our timing numbers with no base gasket. I messaged Caleb and said, hey, what have you done to this? Nothing really. A little bit of a muffler mod he did. And this saw is stock. So we got a base gasket in here. We have our existing timing numbers that we took before. The squish was around 30 thousandths in this saw. Let's see if we can get that squish a little bit tighter, and then we'll go from there. Not sure what I'm going to do to this saw yet. I could do a bunch of machine work. I'm actually really happy with the numbers stock. We can talk about that a little bit. The exhaust roof is really low, but so are the transfers. So for my style of porting, that's what I want. I want low transfers and this exhaust roof is ridiculously low in my opinion. It's too low. That's what's really holding this saw back. So, okay, I'm gonna finish tearing this saw apart, and we'll get her down that it looks more like something we're gonna port on, and then we'll go from there. Give me a few minutes and or an hour. I'm not sure how long this is gonna take. I gotta grab a bag for all the fasteners, and let's dive into a CS590. I'm gonna show you guys what I think, and we'll go from there. I've never ported one of these, so you guys are along for a ride along with me, because I'll make decisions as I go. That's just kind of how I roll. So anyhow, folks, let me tear this apart, and I'll hit you guys back up in, I don't know, half an hour, hopefully. Okay, we got her torn down. Pretty standard thoroughfare, or affair, thoroughfare. See this screw here? That was the death of me. I could not get the handle off till I realized that's a limiter screw. So if you guys are taking these apart, remember that's a limiter screw. I'm just gonna sit down here. Oh, another thing I noticed. I don't know what the deal here is, friends. You see that bolt? It's loose. About 4 turns out. This is a brand new saw, so I don't know what to say, friends. I really don't. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Okay, we're going to take this top end off, and let's have a look at this cylinder. I'm going to let you guys know what I think. We're going to take the base gasket out and see if that fixes our squish issues. I'll have to grab my book. Squish is like 30 thou on this. Hopefully it has a 10 thou base gasket. If not, maybe we'll cut a pop-up in it. That'll be kind of fun. Although I'm trying to keep this as another just simple build that you guys can follow along with. There's so many of you guys out there that have these. Lots of guys port them. There's a fellow that emails me, Charles is his name. He does Echoes all the time. He did one of these. It rips pretty good. So I know there's potential. Whether I can do it on the first go is, we'll see, right? You never know what a saw is going to do until you do it. That was stuck on there pretty good. Okay, well, I don't think, yeah. So I'm just looking to see if we had a cylinder leak. I don't see any signs. The base gasket literally just came apart on this saw, so we're going without a base gasket no matter what. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, friends, is I'm going to take this piston off. I got to get this base gasket off. It's stuck real good on there. I'll just show you guys what the deal is here. Okay, it shattered, so it doesn't looks like a 10 thou base gasket, so maybe we're in business. Just give me a few seconds. Interesting transfer designs. This side is bigger than that. They are scooped in. Looks like the tip of this one opens in line with that. Interesting. Tiny wee little exhaust port. There you guys go. This thing's starting to break in. It's got a huge combustion chamber with a dome. With a dome piston. Okay? Interesting. I think what we're going to do is we're really going to work these transfers, give them a little bit more volume. There's lots of room here for sealing surface. And let's make this thing flow. We're going to raise the exhaust. What did I say before? 8 degrees I think we're going to go. Something like that. And we're going to leave the upper transfers stock. They look quite nice. There's no flash. And we're just going to rough the intake up. Smooth is not the way I go. I like rough. Okay, I'm going to bolt this top end back on. Just do that with you guys right here. And I'll chat with you guys. Okay, so bolt this back on. Bolt this back on. Put our cylinder bolts in. Let's see if they drop down. Oh, I like a saw where you can just drop them from the top. Okay. Again, I've never been into one of these, so I have no idea. I have no idea what the squish is going to be. Hopefully the squish is around 20 thousandths now. That would make my life easier. If not, I think we're going to have to put this thing in the lathe. That base gasket was just destroyed. And it's still stuck to the cylinder a little bit. Not enough to throw off our squish, but you can see some discoloration. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. It was definitely stuck and it was not leaking from what I could see. But again, when I see a brand new saw with the cylinder with a cylinder bolt loose, it's weird. You don't typically see that. So, okay. Interesting, you can't even see. There we go. Just going to try and show you guys as much of this build as possible. There's tons of you guys with this saw out there. I had no idea there were so many 590 Echoes. This is probably Echo's best-selling saw, I reckon. There's lots of them around here, that's for sure. Like I said, I've never owned one. And it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what we can get out of this saw. It's definitely lacking stock. I think it's held back by the exhaust roof height. We will find out. Caleb's my buddy, and he just told me to do whatever I want to this saw. So, okay, we're gonna mount the timing wheel, zero it, and get our squish. Okay, first things first, let's get our squish. I'd like to know where we're starting, because if the squish is too tight, then we got to do some surgery to this thing. I don't think it's going to be too tight just based on that, what we just got here. I don't like how much we got on this, so let's try her again. Okay, put it right in there. Okay. Let's see what we got for squish. Very small squish band on this saw. Okay, friends, that's good. Our squish, 17 and a half thousandths. Now, that is a little on the tight side, but when we put our assembly silicone underneath this cylinder, we will add 2 to 3 thousandths, which means we'll be right in the game, exactly where we want to be. Let's see what we got here. Looks like 17 and a half thousandths. I'm happy with that. So we're going to keep it right there. I'm going to mount the timing wheel and let's get our new timing numbers. Okay, we got our timing wheel mounted up and zeroed. A little bit of run out in it, but no big deal. This is what knocked you guys over there. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. I'm going to spin you guys this away. And let's see what the deal is. Just give me a second. I'll put a light in there and we'll see where this exhaust opens. Okay, we got a light in there. Open. Closed. Okay, we'll take it up to top dead center. You guys know the deal. I wonder how this thing's going to time now. Let's go to around 100. Okay, let's keep turning it till that first ray of light is seen. Right there. You guys see that? Right in here, that's your first ray of light. Okay. There's your first ray of light. I'm going to try and get it so that it's just when it peaks open. There you go, right here. You guys can see that little stripe of light. What did we get out of this? Nothing. It is still at 114. I'm just going to show you guys here real quick. 114 after top to the center. So this is a long stroke saw, so we got nothing out of it, is my guess. Okay, and take this light off here. There we go. There we go. I don't know what happened with my camera there. Okay, so we didn't get any timing out of that. So again, in a long stroke saw like this is a really long stroke for the displacement. That's why it's so torquey. In a long stroke saw, you're not going to get as much out of a base gasket delete as you will in, say, a 266. Okay, so what are we at? 114 after top dead center. So nothing has changed. So that tells me that the transfers probably will not change either. Okay, I'm going to take a peek at the transfers. Okay, here's the upper transfers. Notice the transfer at the top of the screen opens slightly before the other transfer. You do see that from time to time in different power saws. So what I thought I saw is exactly what was going on. Interesting. Okay, well, from what I can see, the transfers open at 129, 130, which is exactly what we got before. So I'll write that down. So I'm going to say we didn't get any timing out of that base gasket delete. I'm going to flip this around. Let's look at the intake, which I'm sure it's going to be the same, but we got to make sure. Okay, here's your intake. I'll move it a little bit closer to you guys. There you go, so you can see. Ready? Just as it opens. What are we at? Right there is where it opens. Right there. We're at 79. So, do it 3 times. Open. Right, well, there. 79. So, we know we didn't get any timing out of this. Okay? Because it's the same numbers I'm finding from before. Okay, so, that's okay. That means we didn't gain anything, we didn't lose anything. Let's talk about what we're going to do to this saw. Okay, friends, so our new squish will be 17.5 thousandths. Add 2 to 3 thousandths with our sealant. We'll have right around 20 thousandths. That's perfect. I couldn't be happier with that. Our exhaust is still at 114. Transfers are 129, so that's 15 degrees of blowdown. I want more blowdown in this saw. Our intake is at 79. That's pushing it. So we're not going to do anything to the intake, believe it or not. We're going to shape it and do a little rough up, and that'll be it. Here's our porting timing numbers. Exhaust 104 after top dead center. 152 duration. That's not even pushing it. I could probably go to 102. I'm not going to do that on this saw though. I want this to pull a longer bar. And I want to maintain some compression. They cut big dry wood where this saw is going, so it really helps to know who's going to be running the saw. And Caleb said he would like reliability, so 104, no problem. We'll get more RPM in the cut like that, but we shouldn't lose too much torque. 10 degrees is a lot to move an exhaust roof, but that's how I like to party. If we add 10 degrees to this, right? If we added 10 degrees to this, we add 10 degrees to the blowdown, 25 degrees. I'm real happy with that, okay? Intake 79, we're not gonna touch the intake. Okay, friends, well, I just wanted to get myself reacquainted with this saw, and I've never looked inside of it. Now I know what I'm dealing with. We got those cool, swoopy, cut-up transfers. I'm going to do some shaping to the lower transfers. I'm going to raise the exhaust roof, and I'm going to rough up and do a little shaping to the intake. I might widen the exhaust port on this just a smidge, but the exhaust ports on these saws are kind of small. This is only a 60cc saw, so keep that in mind. If you have a smaller saw, you need to keep your ports sized accordingly. Wow. That was crazy, friends. That was like an 80-mile-an-hour gust of wind. Wow. Okay, friends, we're not even going to edit that out. I feel like either we're not in Kansas anymore, or I better batten down the hatches. That was nuts. Just stuff flying across my yard. That happens here. The magic of video on YouTube, friends. Anyhow, next time you guys see this, we're going to grind on it. Like I said, I wanted to see what's going on in there. I'm going to take a little bit of time to hypothesize what I want to do. And I'm going to do it along with you guys on video. I want you guys to see what I do so that if you're so inclined and you want to do some grinding, at least this will kind of show you what I do. You guys do your own thing when grinding, but if I can help you or you can get some ideas, I get ideas from seeing other people's grinding. So anyhow, friends, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Later.